Hey, fifth grade, we're going to go over our packet of work for this week. Here's your cover sheet that covers the 5 lessons that we have for this week, and this video is going to cover the first 4, and then the last one is the chapter review that we'll go over in a different video later on in the week. If you'll go ahead and turn to page 18, it's the first page in your packet. This is special plurals. And we've talked about special plurals before. In fact, this whole chapter this was chapter 3 that we did back the end of September, the beginning of October. So you've seen this before. So we're just going to go briefly over some of the rules about special plurals. Some of them are really easy. Some of them are words like we know that we make man becomes men, or woman becomes women, or child. We make plural with children, words like that. But we have some other rules, like words that that have an F in them. Wife becomes wives. We change the F to a V and add ES. Knife becomes knives. Wolf becomes wolves. So that's one of the special ones that we talked about. We have some words that don't change at all. We have words like deer that are the same if they're singular or plural, or sheep, or moose. Those just stay the same. 1 deer, 10 deer. 1 sheep, 10 sheep. 1 moose, 10 moose. They just stay the same. And then we have those words that are spelled with a double O, like foot. The double O becomes a double E, or tooth, or goose. We have those. We have some that are like this. The word mouse becomes not 10 mouses, but 10 mice. And then one other rule I want to quickly go over is words that end in O. We have words like toe, or T-O-E, would be toes, that ends in E-S. But you have a word like studio. We already have 2 vowels at the end. So we never have 3 vowels together. Remember, I've told you guys that before. It would never be I-O-E-S because you don't ever put 3 vowels together. So you're just going to add an S to words like studio. But then you have words like potato. There's only 1 vowel. So you don't just add an S to that one. You add an ES. Potatoes. Okay? So that covers all of the special rules to fill out page 18. Go on to page 19 because we're going to talk about possessive nouns. Remember that possessive shows ownership. It's something the noun owns or that belongs to the noun in the sentence. And we're first going to talk about singular, and then the next page we'll be talking about plural. To show ownership, we add an apostrophe S if the word is singular. So like in number 1, my baby brother's name is Daniel. Brother's name. Okay? So brothers is a singular possessive noun. So what you're going to do in the first section, 1 through 6, is you're going to underline the possessive noun in each one of those sentences. Possessive nouns have singular, have an apostrophe, and then an S. So that's what you're going to do in the first section. In the second section, you're going to rewrite the phrase using a singular possessive noun. So the shoes belonging to Josie, we're not going to say belonging to, we're going to say whose shoes are they? Josie's, with an apostrophe S, shoes. The shoes belonging to Josie are Josie's shoes. The mother of Tyrone is Tyrone's mother. So you're going to do that on all of those through 14. And then 15 through 20, you're going to choose which one is written correctly. That should be a singular possessive noun. Remembering singular possessive nouns have apostrophes. But just adding a plural, the horses loved to run in the pasture, number 15, is that showing ownership? That's just showing more than one horse, right? So that would be correct because that sentence is not showing ownership. It's showing more than one. So you'll do that on 15 through 20. We're going to do the same thing on page 20. You can go ahead and turn over to that page, except that these nouns are plural. So they're more than one. So a lot of these words will already have S's on the end because we know to make a noun plural, a lot of times you put an S on the end. The first one says, the fifth grader's prize for winning a contest was a trip to the zoo. Fifth graders, more than one fifth grader, but it belongs to it. It's their prize, the fifth grader's prize. So you put an apostrophe after the S because you already have an S there on the word showing plural. So the apostrophe is all you have to add to show ownership. And so if a word ends in an S already, you just add an apostrophe to the end, okay? In the second section of that one, the manes of the lions, it's more than one lion. The lions' manes. You're going to just add an apostrophe after the S. But then you have other words like the exhibits for children. Children is plural. It doesn't have an S on the end, though, does it? So to make it possessive, you have to add an apostrophe S, just like we did on the singular. So if it already has an S to make it plural, you just add an apostrophe. But if it's made plural without an S on the end, like women or children or men, then you have to add just apostrophe S to that. You'll do that for 7 through 14 and 15 through 20. You're going to choose which one in each sentence is written correctly. And then we're going to briefly talk about page 21, which is using commas. And we did this just right in the last chapter that we had last week. Let's see, are we still going? Yeah, we're still going. All right. So on these, you're going to fill in the circle next to each sentence that's written correctly. Remember that if you are addressing someone, like in the first one, Ben, do you know who the first Christian martyr was? You're talking to Ben, and you're asking him the rest of the question. So you're going to set his name aside by putting a comma after it. In the second one, it says, "I think it was Stephen," said Ben. If you have words in quotes, a sentence that was quoted, "I think it was Stephen," said Ben. The things that he quoted have a comma between them and who said it. So you need a comma there. If you are saying yes or no to start a sentence, yes, Stephen was the first Christian martyr, you're going to set that word aside just like you do Ben, okay? We also use them in a series. We have a list of things. Jews were from Cyrene, Alexandria, Cilicia, and Asia. So you would have a comma after Cyrene and after Alexandria and after Cilicia in front of the word and, but you don't put a comma after the word and in a series of words in a sentence. And I believe that covers all of the different rules for that for 1 through 8. And then in 9 through 21, you are going to add commas in the sentence where they belong. Let me tell you, this is number 9. Let me tell you, Rachel, about our trip to England. All right, we're talking to Rachel. Her name is right in the middle of the sentence. but we're talking to her. So let me tell you, Rachel, about our trip to England. You're going to put a comma both in front of and behind her name, because you could say that sentence without actually addressing her. Let me tell you about our trip to England, if you're just talking to Rachel. But you're trying to clarify that you're talking to Rachel, so you threw her name there right in the middle of the sentence. So you offset it by putting commas on either side. We put commas in dates. Today is May the 5th, comma, 2020. We put commas between cities and states. Jacksonville, comma, Florida. See if there's any other on there I see. I think that's all, including the ones of the rules that I talked about up at the top. So make sure that you use the little insert mark and put your comma in there where all the commas go on this worksheet. And then I will come back later in the week with the review video for the chapter review as we wind down chapter 3 and finish out our year. So that's all on this one, and I will see you later on with the chapter review. You guys have a great day.